Hello all, today we are doing the present tense but in French. I'm mainly focusing for the O-level students today, so we'll go through words there in the present tense. So we need to have the subject pronouns. You need to know the subject pronouns to get along with the present tense. So we're starting off with je. This is to say I. Tu for you. This tu is used when you're talking to someone close like a friend or someone like very close like your family or something like that. And il means he, il means she, and on is usually used to refer to something unknown. You shouldn't stress much about it. I put it so that you know it's conjugated in the same way il and il are conjugated. Nu means we, wu means you. Now, the difference between tu and wu is used generally when you are in a situation where you're talking to someone who should be respected. So, use in the wu form. For an example, if you're talking to a teacher or someone elder than you or someone you're not close with, someone like that. So, we have il and el. Both il and el mean they. You should put il if they're masculine plural, and if you're putting el if it's feminine plural. So, we got the next slide now. Alors, when we have regular ER verbs, when the verb is ending with ER, it's called ER verbs, and they're usually the regular verbs because there are no exceptions and it's really easy to conjugate. So when you're conjugating, we are adding E, we add E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, and ENT. You should always remember that. Along with J, you put E, along with T, you put ES, and with these, you put E, with no, you put ONS, with who, you put EZ, with il and l in the plural form, we put ent. You should remember these because this is really important when conjugating in the present tense, especially with the regular verbs. So if you're wondering to what we are adding these e, es, eons, ez, and ent, in the next slide we'll discuss about to what we are adding these verb endings. So I used this image to give an idea about what we are going to do. So now imagine we have a verb, and let's think the verb is let me give one verb. Let's take donner. Donner means to give. So what does this say? It says step 1, remove er to get the stem of the verb. So er refers to this. This is something very usual in regular verbs, okay, regular er verbs. So what you do is we remove the er. Now the picture makes sense, I suppose, because now if the verb is donner, meaning to give, we have donor right here. I'll take it down because I don't have space. So you're supposed to remove the er. Basically, you're kicking the er away. Like this, you're kicking it. You're kicking the er. So what is er? Er is this thing right here. You kick it away. Kick the er away. So when you kick er away, you're left alone with this. What is this? This is the stem. Why do you need the stem? You need the stem so that to conjugate to present tense, because why? You are adding the verb endings along with the stem. I hope it's clear. So we have a cat right here to explain how you conjugate more er verbs into the present tense. So we're starting off with the verb regarder. Regarder means to watch. So we're doing it now. First step, we are removing the er, we are kicking it away. Now we are left with the stem regard. So what do we do it? Sorry, I mistakenly typed step here instead of stem. It's stem. So we have regard without the er, because why we kicked it away. So we are adding the verb endings, je regard. And do you see the e here? E. To regard. To regard. Along with the s, I'm so sorry. To regard. Along with the s. Il regarde. Nous regardons. Vous regardez. Il regarde. So let's differentiate between the stem and the ending. We have regard here, and in the ending we have e, because why? It's the verb ending. We have regard, this is the stem, it's common in all the conjugated verbs, and with that we have es, e, ONSEZENT. So the only thing that you need to memorize when it comes to the regular verbs is that you need to understand how the endings are formed, and you need to memorize them so you can easily apply it to the stem. And when it comes to translation, when you say when you say je regarde, it can also translate to I am watching or I watch. Tu regardes, you watch, you are watching. Il regarde, he she watches, or he is watching, or she is watching. Nous regardons, we watch, we are watching. Vous regardez, you watch or you are watching. Il regarde, they watch or they are watching. Just like the dog who is right here looking at you, the tree watching you understand the lesson. So we are going to the next slide. So in this slide, we have regular ER verbs. The common thing that you find in this is the fact that all of them are ending with ER. Trouver meaning to find, regarder to watch, jouer to play, acheter to buy, chanter meaning to sing. So in all of these, if you remove the ER from the verb, we have the stem. Now I do hope that you are not like any of these animals here, the cat, no, the dog, because both of them are still questioning about how they're supposed to conjugate to the present tense. So in the next slide, we'll be discussing one more verb. Let's take trouver and let's conjugate it to the present tense to get a more clear idea about it. So we're starting off with conjugating trouver into present tense. So we have trouver. What we need to do is we need to kick the ER, kick it, so that we have je, true. This is the stem, by the way, the stem, and these are the endings which are written in green color. Till, true, sorry, es, true, il, true, no, true, ONS, vous, true. I'm taking it down just because I don't have space. We have il, true with ENT. So that's all you need to do when conjugating trouver to present tense. I made this little activity for you all to be more familiar with the lesson. So we'll get started. First thing you need to do is you need to pay attention to the endings that I've used here. These are the endings. What are the endings? Endings are the thing that is next to the stem. So we'll start off with je. Oh, and also before that, I suggest that you do it by yourself. Maybe write it down in a book, dances, and then check it out. So we're starting off with je, with pot, because je comes along with the stem and the e. So il is also the same. Vous is porté with the z, il portons with ent. Now if you're wondering what jaune is an equivalent to il. Now imagine John is watching the television. Now you can also say it as he is watching the television. So we use the same ending or the conjugation. So we put Jean porte. By the way, porte is to wear. So we have nous here. Nous is portons. Gina and Anne is an equivalent to they here. Because why? Gina and Anne are two different people. So two people means it's the plural. So Gina and Anne goes to pot with ent, and tu is with es. And as I explained in the beginning, this tu is used when you're talking to a friend or someone close. We go to the next slide, and as usual, what is it doing here? The one right here is begging you to study the endings and the er verbs. Before I end, I thought of sharing this as well because there are exceptions in French generally, and before you mess it up with ger verbs, which means verbs that end with ger. For an example, manger, meaning to eat. Now, even though it has er here at the end, like we discussed earlier, there's a little difference. It's that there's a g. So it makes the case a bit different. So we have je mange, je mange, it's the same, the stem along with the ending. Tu manges, we have the stem along with the ending es. Il mange, we have the stem and the ending e. But if you look closer, this thing right here, nous mangeons, do you see a slight difference? We were told that we should put ONS, but if you look closer, there's also an E that has come along with the ONS. And if you're thinking why that has happened, it's to maintain the pronunciation, because if you don't have E, it would be nous mangeons. Nous mangeons is wrong, so we have to put the E, so it is nous mangeons. So what you have to remember when you're conjugating GER verbs is that when it comes to the new conjugation, you need to put EO instead of putting ONS like the regular terms. We have vous mangez, le mangeons. The only difference that we have when it comes to the GER verbs, and I want you to do the rest of these as well so that you are well practiced. We have changer, mélanger, nager, partager. Wait, I think I did a little mistake here. It should be protéger as much as I know, and corriger. I'm not really sure about this, so I suggest that you remove this and do the rest of these. I mean, two is enough. If you can conjugate them like this and comment it down, it'll be good. So it comes to the end of our lesson. Even though I mean the end, it's not the end because only our session is over and there are more things that you should learn when it comes to the present tense. For example, we still have to do the verbs ending with IR, CER, and some more irregular verbs like être, meaning to be, and avoir, and aller, meaning to go. So once we discuss all of these, our lesson will be over. Until we meet next time, then au revoir and à bientôt.